It was a night that would forever alter the landscape of political discourse. A night when secrets could no longer hide behind polished sound bites and carefully edited footage. In a world where every unscripted moment was captured live, the truth was poised to break free. Across America, millions tuned in as CBS, under the relentless scrutiny of the FCC, was forced to release the raw, unedited footage of a controversial interview featuring none other than Kamala Harris. For months, rumors had swirled that the network had tampered with the content during the election campaign, distorting the message and, by extension, the public's trust. Now, as the unfiltered images cascaded across screens, a collective sigh of relief echoed. Many believe that the real Kamala Harris had finally been exposed, and that perhaps, in a twist of fate, America had chosen the right candidate in Donald Trump. The footage revealed everything. Every pause, every subtle change in expression that had been meticulously removed from the on-air version. The 16 minutes that CBS had heavily edited for their broadcast, so different from what had been available on YouTube and other digital channels, now lay bare for all to see. Complaints flooded in, social media ignited, and pundits began to dissect every frame. It was as if the very soul of the interview had been unveiled, a stark reminder that in the age of digital transparency, no truth can be permanently obscured. But as the public grappled with this revelation, another drama was unfolding on a global stage. In an entirely separate arena, amidst the charged atmosphere of a live congressional hearing, former President Donald Trump was about to make his own seismic statement. The cameras had already rolled, capturing every moment with an intensity that matched the fierce determination in Trump's eyes. This wasn't just another political skirmish. It was a defining moment. Trump's voice, calm yet imbued with an authority honed over decades in the political arena, broke the silence. Today, we reveal the truth. He declared, his tone measured but with a weight that could bend steel. He then delivered a line that would reverberate across the nation. It's not just about free speech or corporate power, it's about accountability. With those words, the narrative began to shift. Trump, once the subject of countless attacks, was now casting himself as the avenger of truth, someone who would not allow corruption to go unchecked. As the hearing progressed, the atmosphere inside the chamber grew heavy with the gravity of unfolding evidence. At the center of the proceedings sat Hillary Rodham Clinton, a figure who had once been the embodiment of resilience and power, twice a presidential candidate and a former Secretary of State. Tonight, however, she was on the defensive, facing a tribunal where Trump now took on the role of prosecutor. The air was thick with tension as Trump unveiled Exhibit, a barrage of emails and documents that showed how, after a congressional subpoena, 33,000 federal records had not merely been deleted but obliterated. "You didn't just lose control," he said, his voice rising. "You executed control perfectly, erasing evidence, smashing devices, and then pretending it was all about something as trivial as yoga." The courtroom's digital screen shifted to Exhibit B. Images of Benghazi filled the frame. Faces of fallen ambassadors, security requests ignored, a tragic failure that led to the loss of American lives. On that day in Benghazi, Trump intoned, "Instead of taking responsibility, you spun a tale, a narrative of chaos that ultimately betrayed the trust of the American people." His words, delivered with icy precision, brought a heavy silence over the chamber, one punctuated by murmurs and the rapid clicking of cameras. But Trump wasn't finished. With a swift gesture, he brought up Exhibit C, a vivid montage of financial records and internal memos linking the Clinton Foundation to billions in donations from foreign governments, lobbyists, and corporations. The screen showed staggering numbers. Millions of dollars funneled into an operation that, on paper, appeared to be a charity, but in reality functioned as a cash register for political favors. "You built an empire," he said, "an empire where public funds turned into private profit. And when the truth came out, you buried it beneath layers of deceit." As Trump's barrage of evidence hit its peak, the focus shifted to the impact of these revelations on the American public. Outside the formal proceedings, the digital world erupted. Hashtags like hashtag accountability now, hashtag empire exposed, and hashtag truth unfiltered began trending. Protests ignited outside federal buildings. News anchors on every network scrambled to piece together the new narrative. Citizens debated fervently. Was this the beginning of a long overdue reckoning, or merely a politically charged spectacle? Back in the midst of this chaos, the story returned to the raw, unedited footage from CBS, the same footage that had exposed the distortions in Kamala Harris's interview. In a powerful twist of fate, the story that had once seemed to undermine trust in the media now converged with the political drama unfolding in Washington. It was a moment that blurred the lines between political factions and media bias, forcing every viewer to confront a single, undeniable truth. In the digital age, no secret remains hidden for long. In one particularly poignant sequence, the footage showed a split-screen comparison of the edited and unedited versions of the interview. The contrast was stark. On one side, polished soundbites designed to make Kamala Harris appear measured and in control. On the other, raw, unscripted moments that revealed a much different story. This is the truth, a narrator intoned, a truth that challenges the very foundations of what we consider honest reporting. As the evening wore on, the narrative deepened. Pundits argued on live TV panels about the broader implications. If media giants could alter the narrative at will, how could the public ever know what to believe? The conversation extended into debates about censorship, freedom of speech, and the role of government oversight. One fiery commentator declared, "When the truth is manipulated, democracy itself is at risk," a sentiment that resonated with millions. Behind closed doors, legal experts began piecing together the intricate web of evidence. Internal DOJ emails, leaked memos, and encrypted chat logs painted a damning picture of a system rigged to protect the powerful. In secret strategy meetings, prosecutors and forensic accountants pored over every detail, determined to bring those responsible to account. It was clear that what had started as a controversy over edited footage had evolved into a full-blown inquiry into corruption at the highest levels. Then, in a climactic moment that brought the audience to the edge of their seats, the courtroom's digital screen illuminated one final exhibit, a comprehensive timeline linking policy decisions, financial transfers, and secret meetings. This, Pam Bondi declared with quiet finality, is the blueprint of corruption. It is the pattern of deceit that has allowed public office to become a shield for private gain. The room was silent, every individual present hanging on her every word as the weight of the revelation sank in. For a brief, heart-stopping moment, the entire nation seemed to pause. Outside, the protests grew louder. Inside, the sound of a single gavel echoed like a call to arms. And as the session drew to a close, the public was left with a profound, inescapable question. Can a system built on manipulated narratives and selective enforcement ever be trusted again? As the aftermath of that fateful night rippled through every corner of the nation, digital headlines flashed across screens and social media buzzed with fervor. Congressional hearings were rescheduled, new investigations were launched, and a bipartisan call for reform began to take shape. In boardrooms, classrooms, and living rooms across America, people debated whether the rules truly applied equally to everyone, or if the powerful enjoyed an unfair immunity. The weight of Bondi's evidence, spanning raw, unedited footage, leaked emails, and digital timelines, had set the stage for a national reckoning. It was a day when even the mightiest empires crumbled under the relentless force of truth. And though the chaos of protests, pundit debates, and relentless media scrutiny would continue for days to come, one fact remained unchallenged. When secrets are exposed, accountability is inevitable. In the weeks that followed, the political landscape began to shift. New voices emerged in congressional hearings, demanding transparency and reform. Protests outside federal buildings turned into coordinated demonstrations for justice. And in every corner of the country, ordinary citizens, students, activists, professionals spoke out about the need to hold power to account. The conversation was no longer confined to cable news segments or digital clips. It had permeated every facet of public life. Pam Bondi's bold stand had ignited a movement that challenged not only a corrupt administration, but an entire system built on the erosion of public trust. In quiet cafes in Brooklyn, in bustling offices in Chicago, and in homes across rural America, people reflected on the implications of that night. They questioned how long the cycle of manipulation and cover-ups could continue if the truth were allowed to remain buried. As the digital dust began to settle, one thing was clear. The pursuit of truth, no matter how arduous, will always find a way to surface. Pam Bondi's unwavering determination had not only shattered an empire built on deceit, but had also sparked a nationwide conversation about accountability, integrity, and the enduring power of transparency. In that moment, the American people realized that even the most deeply entrenched systems of corruption are vulnerable when faced with relentless scrutiny. If this story moves you, share it with someone who believes that no one, no matter how powerful, is above the law. Subscribe for more real stories that cut through the noise and reveal what true courage looks like when the stakes are highest.